Hey, it's your pal Nick here with a quick note. Brandon and I did have a choice to make this week. The only opportunity we had to record an episode was during an extended car ride together. We had to decide whether to record an episode with less than perfect audio quality or record no episode at all. We decided to try to make the car ride work, and we think it is listenable enough for you. In other words, we hope you'll excuse this one episode exception to the perfect audio quality standard we try to achieve here. This episode features a lot of great moments, including Brandon getting mad and furious quite often, and some of my favorite side topics we've had on the show so far, including lots of talk about peanut butter in your hair, up your nose, peanut butter this, peanut butter that. You'll also find out which popular breakfast food item Brandon no longer wants to eat after our discussion together. Without any further ado, here is episode 13 of the Tennis Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Tennis Podcast. My name is Nicholas. I'm here with my sidekick host, Brandon.
I almost drove off the fucking road.
This is a special edition of the Tennis Podcast because we are live on Interstate 44 westbound toward Oklahoma City. I feel like a radio DJ, but we are on the road for this episode, so the audio quality might be a little less perfect than you're used to, but we hope you'll forgive us for this one episode. Brandon, how do you feel to be driving my ass to Oklahoma City right now?
I feel great. I'm speeding, and there's traffic, and there's workers present, and the sun is straight in my eyeballs. I feel really good about this.
This is the first ever recording of this podcast where Brandon and I are in the same airspace.
You were within my parameter.
That's right. Usually we do this over Skype, but we are in the car side by side. We're actually on our way to a live show in Oklahoma City for the last podcast on the left, which is my favorite podcast. How about you, Brandon?
It is my favorite podcast.
That's the podcast that got me into podcasting. As a matter of fact, we were going to go see them live in Oklahoma City, and this is actually the only time we could find time to record this week, so we thought we'd kill two birds with one very large, violent, sharp stone, and we are going to record this shit in the car on the way to the show. And this week's list... Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
The top 10 most commonly bought grocery items at the grocery store.
Easy. I've watched a shitload of Prices Right. Can you do the Mountaineer yodeling thing while I'm thinking?
Yodel-a-hee-hoo.
Okay.
So, in other words, what common grocery store items have the most sales in America year to year? That's what we're looking at.
By unit or by dollar?
By dollar. I actually wanted unit, but I could not find a reliable list for that. So my sources for this, well, I have three. Homestead.com, HowStuffWorks.com, and Statista.
Oh, sorry, I was trying to make sure we didn't die.
Brandon's driving, and if his driving is like his list guessing, then this could be a very long, painful episode.
Or a very short one.
Brandon, did you bring any zooms to have sex while we talk?
You're welcome to look around there in the back seat at what my 5-year-old has left. There could be all kinds of things to join up and align their genitals.
So why don't we start, per usual, with items that you think are pretty safely not on the list. What items at the grocery store, and we're not talking Walmart, we're talking food items, groceries. So what items at the grocery store would you say you could pretty safely guess are not in the top 10?
Wait a second. Does this include things like paper towels and toilet paper?
I'll say no, actually. So basically, food items at the grocery store, things that you could buy at a Ralph's or what else? Albertsons.
All of it is food related.
Yes.
Okay. That's not going to be in the top 10. Asparagus.
Sure.
Brussels sprouts. Liver.
Liver's number 1. I got some for you.
Sure.
How about Spam? You think Spam's on the top 10?
Spam is not going to be on there. Spam has never passed my lips. I've never eaten a Spam.
What is Spam made of?
But despite in the mid-90s owning and wearing a Spam t-shirt, I've never Spam? It's
Is it actually meat?
Salted pork and ham. Spam.
Are you for real?
It's salted pork. I know that.
All right, another item I don't think would be on the top 10 is Vienna sausages.
Those are very closely related to spam.
Well, I was in spam mode when I have piling these.
A Vienna sausage has passed my lips. Not within the last decade, but I have eaten one, and I ate not more than my share. I ate some as a child. More than my share sounds disgusting.
But I have no doubt it's accurate. So what is the defining feature of a Vienna? If you were explaining to an alien who knew nothing about our customs, what's the difference between a regular old sausage and a Vienna sausage?
The texture, it's filled with the same thing as like an old lady's ass. It's just a mess.
What about Dustin Hoffman's ass?
It's the same thing. Dustin Hoffman now looks like an old lady.
You said a raisin with eyes last week. Alright, how about cauliflower crust pizza?
Is that what people eat when they're avoiding gluten or carbs?
Yeah.
Sounds gross. I've never had it.
It's not so bad, but, I mean, it's not, yeah, but it's not in the top 10.
Ass crackers?
Let me check here. Ass crackers. Let me flip through just to make sure. No ass crackers in the top 10. But how about an eggplant?
No, I remember what. No, eggplant is the purple one, right?
Yeah, think of the emoji people use for dicks in text messages.
That's right. No, I don't want that one either.
One more, and that's fish sticks. You like fish sticks, Brandon?
Did you say fish dicks?
Fish sticks, which could very well be fish sticks. You know why I don't swim in the ocean?
Because there's fish jizzing in it?
Because fish fuck in there, you got it.
Yeah, I'd eat a fish stick.
Yes or no on the tartar sauce?
Is tartar sauce the white one with little, like... Does it have little green things in it?
Yeah, and I couldn't even tell you what tartar sauce is. I'm sure there's mayonnaise in there somewhere.
Tartar? Yeah, I ate tartar sauce in very limited...
What's your opinion? We know how you feel about Han Solo. How about Tartar Binks?
About Jar Jar Binks?
Yeah. The people want to know.
That theory about Jar Jar Binks being a secret Sith Lord was kind of cute and fun, but it's not real. How do I feel about him? I guess maybe if I would have been 5 or 6 years old when Phantom Menace came out, I would have been delighted by him. But I was fully grown, robust high school student, and even at the time with my limited education or exposure to the world, recognized that he was an insultingly racist caricature of, didn't he speak kind of like a... He was racist. It was racist.
The thing about Jar Jar Binks, though, is hell of an ass. You ready to get to the list?
He was amphibious.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to imagine his ass, that's the kind of context you need.
Imagine an amphibious ass.
It is slightly, always a little bit moist.
Sure.
And kind of...
It just makes it easier for us.
Not scaly.
No. But not slimy either, but smooth. And...
texture. There's a texture.
Did he have a tail?
No, not that I saw. He never took his pants off.
Well, not on camera, at least. Give me a guess. Top 10 food-related grocery items in America.
Bread?
Sure.
Well, is it? Where's bread?
Bread's on here. Bread's number 3.
Okay.
What?
I don't know what to say about bread. I like to eat some bread. I prefer wheat.
Hang on, I got all kinds of hashtag notes for you here.
Oh, on bread?
Yeah.
Sure, okay.
This is the show, Brandon.
Well, I will
when I'm hosting the show, when I got the list, I come prepared.
And everyone goes to sleep. Why I said bread is, I guess it's all over the country, right? When there's an ice storm coming, or severe weather, snow, whatever, people always say, like, you gotta stop at the store and stock up and get some bread and milk. Those are always the first two things.
Yeah, why is that? Why those two?
I don't know. I don't eat that much bread, and no one in my house drinks milk. I think in other people's houses, I think in quote-unquote normal people's houses, they take a big jug of pasteurized juice that was squirted from an animal's nipple, and they drink that. They just pour a big glass of animal tit juice and gulp it down. But we don't do that at my house. But we do eat bread, and I can see why maybe when there's an ice storm coming, you would fucking fist fight someone over the last loaf.
Maybe because bread is so versatile, right? You can use it for so many different things. Well, let me tell you about bread. This is coming directly from #NicksNotes.
Hey, what can you use a bread for besides just bread?
Sandwich, toast,
Bread bowl.
Just eating bread. Bread fill you up. You know, if there was
anything would fill you up if you keep eating it. I could give
no, but bread is particularly filling. Don't act like bread isn't less filling than.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why they say you're not supposed to throw bread at a wedding. It's that birds eat it and they die.
Well, okay. The thing about bread is if you were in an apocalypse situation.
Tell me the thing about bread.
And you would like to have a lot of bread because if you were starving because you had lack of food, bread would be a good thing to have because it would make you feel fuller. Right?
I don't think you understand nutrition very well.
Well,
yeah, it would make you feel like physically full.
I'm saying it would get you by. Alright, let's talk about bread. Bread in America has an average sales of $10 billion annually. And this is particularly interesting because Americans also eat a lot of bread in restaurants.
Yeah. Before I have my meal, I'm going to eat this little loaf of bread that you brought.
The bread and bakery segment is the fastest growing restaurant segment in America. You might remember that from episode 3 of the 10ish podcast, where we covered the largest restaurant chains.
Did you remember that off the top of your head?
I have it written down.
I'd completely forgotten.
Despite that fact, people aren't getting enough bread at restaurants. They want it at home, too. And are you curious about the most popular types of bread in America?
Yeah, is one of them wheat?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 1 is wheat. Number 1 is whole wheat or multigrain.
Do I need to make some kind of noise to wake up everybody who might have fallen asleep driving listening to this? Okay,
people are loving this. Whole wheat and multigrain is number 1. White bread's number 2, and Italian bread's number 3.
What area of the country eats more white bread?
I can't tell you, but I do for every one of these things. I have Nick's Choice from Nick's Notes.
It's the South.
Nick's Choice from Nick's Notes on his preference of bread.
Tell me your favorite bread.
Nick prefers sourdough bread.
Doesn't it have cheese in it?
No, that's Italian. What? No, maybe not. No, Italian doesn't have cheese in it.
What makes the dough sour?
I don't know. It's not literally sour, but it's called sourdough bread. That's like, you ever go to Panera and they give you that little loaf as a side?
Yeah.
That's sourdough bread.
Oh, you mean the hardest bread to bite in the world?
All right, I think we're done with bread here. What's your choice of bread, then?
I said it was wheat. I like wheat.
All right, the most boring one. All right, bread number 3. What else?
God, where do we go from bread? Milk, the other staple of people going crazy, trying to get prepared to be trapped indoors for 14 hours. Milk.
Milk's very close to bread. It's number 2. Let's talk about milk. What is it about animals' nipples that made...
That grosses me out?
No, that made humans... Like, where did this all start? Right? Why don't humans drink human breast milk? I mean, that sounds gross to us now, but you'd think in the logical progression of human history, that would have been the logical first choice, right?
What I imagine is there were a couple cavemen sitting there, and they were watching a young beast suckle at the teat of its mother beast, and they thought, I bet cavemen just tried fucking everything once to figure out what worked and what didn't.
Were there cows in caveman time? I don't think so.
They were bigger, hairier ones.
How often do you think cavemen sucked at the source for their milk. That had to be what they did at first.
Wait, the source of what? Wait.
The tit.
Oh, before they figured out how to make a bucket?
Right. Because that's what the babies of the cows and other animals did. They go directly to the...
How dangerous that would be to go up to a beast. Wait.
If cavemen are known for anything, it's for being safe and cautious.
This is stupid. They're probably domesticated before... No, someone had to figure out that we wanted their milk and then said, I'll domesticate this so I can get all that milk anytime I want.
How come we don't drink dog or cat milk?
So that leads me to believe... Wait, hold on. We probably domesticated animals because we were tired of chasing them down and getting our heads kicked when we were trying to suckle at their nipples. So we made them domesticated and calm, and we made them want to have their nipples tugged on.
Yeah.
And why don't we drink cat or dog milk?
Yes. I just want to know, why is it a certain selection of animals that we do that for and others we don't?
I only know about the milk habits. I barely know about the milk habits in America because they disgust me. I can't imagine what kind of countries out there where the options are more limited, where they're milking dogs, milking cats. Maybe they don't bother to milk them, they just pick it up and tip it back.
So about cows, I actually looked this up. Statista reports that worldwide milk production in 2017, there were 500 million metric tons of milk globally, and almost 20% of that is from the U.S. America is the second largest milk producer in the world, with about 98 million metric tons.
Who is the biggest milk producer in the world?
Do you have any quick guesses? Scandinavia? Australia?
France.
Well, it's the European Union.
Oh.
The largest milk producers in America states are California and Wisconsin.
Right. Cheese and California.
California, and California.
California has a lot of farming. Sure. I know that from Grand Theft Auto 5.
There's our Grand Theft Auto 5 reference for the episode. Okay, and I forgot to mention, milk is an $11 billion industry in America. The most popular milk choice in America is semi-skimmed.
It is?
63% of all milk sales is skim milk.
It is? Who's buying that? It's, of all the milks, it's the grossest one because it's blue.
Blue? What the hell are you talking about?
Skim milk is devoid of all those fats that make...
But they're not blue.
Skim milk has a grayish, bluish, purplish, deathly tint to it.
Alright, you're wrong. But I think people like skim milk because they think it's less fattening.
Well, it's still gross.
And whole milk follows number 2, but only 27% of milk sales are whole. And you want to...
It's all disgusting.
You want to know Nick's choice for milk?
Yeah, tell me your milk choice.
Chocolate.
You're a child.
And one more Nick's notes here. The leading dairy foods processor in America, Nestle.
Oh, I was about to suggest Brahms. It's not, but we are going to shortly drive past. For all of you at home who are listening, if you listen very closely soon, you will hear us drive past Brahms Dairy Farm.
Should we get a milkshake?
No, they're not making milkshakes there. They're just shaking cows.
Oh,
getting the milk out.
Gotcha. All right, you got milk number 2, bread number 3. What else? Eggs. Barely made the list at number 10. Surprising, right?
The incredible edible egg barely made the list.
That's what I said.
Well, all right. Well, then I'm thrown for a loop.
Consider Brandon's loop thrown. Eggs are a $5 billion industry annually in the U.S. Americans eat 76 billion eggs a year. How many of those are you?
At least 50 eggs a year.
That's it? That can't be it.
Well,
there's eggs in stuff you're eating, even if you're not cracking eggs.
I don't know, 60 million?
Okay, that's
somewhere between 50 and 60 million.
No, I didn't ask how many hot dogs you eat at the airport. I asked how many eggs you eat per year.
I have never eaten a hot dog in front of me.
All right, hashtag hot dog Brandon. And there are over 374,000 laying hens in the U.S.
Wait, say that again? 300 and what?
374,000 laying hens in the U.S.
I don't like to think about... This is actually low-key one of the grossest lists already. Because thinking about all those chickens together, farting out eggs of their gross little coagulas in those disgusting chicken shit smelling houses, it's turning my stomach. It's amazing.
Well, you eat 60 million a year, so can't be that bad.
The egg is all I want. The fact that we have to have the whole chicken or the egg thing, the answer is all we wanted was the egg. Well, I guess...
No, that's not fucking true. You want the chicken.
I eat a lot of chicken, too. We don't want the chicken shit. I know that for sure.
Who do you think the leading state in the U.S. is for
eggs?
For hens?
For laying?
For laying hens.
Laying hens. Guess we'll find out.
Brandon just drove by a police officer on the side of the road, and he came out here. We'll see if he...
Well, he might have been done pulling someone over.
True, but it was very suspicious timing. The light's on, so I guess you're good for now. We'll just tell him we're recording a podcast if you get pulled over.
Yeah, could you hurry up and get out of here? Because we're busy. I was only going 9 over the speed limit.
Is that your go-to 9 over the limit?
No, I should not have been going to that.
The leading state for laying hens in the U.S. is our friends in Iowa.
Do we have any listeners in Iowa? Send us an egg.
If you're in Iowa, send us an egg, and also rate us 5 stars and write a review for us on Apple Podcasts.
On the egg.
On the egg. And while you're doing that, you can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at 10ishpod. That's 10ishpod. Brandon, give them a reason to follow us on 10ishpod at Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Well, if you're on Facebook, you get a clue. You get a heads up, and you get some good memes and stuff. Look at the moon. That's God's thumbnail.
What? Where is that from?
I don't know. Sounds like something an idiot would say.
It does look like a thumbnail.
Yeah, it's God's thumbnail.
All right, are we done with eggs? Oh wait, Nick's favorite egg. You want to know?
Incredible edible egg. Tell me.
Scrambled or sunny side up? I like to keep it classic.
I like it scrambled. Yeah.
All right. What else?
Apples.
No.
Bananas.
No.
Are there any fruit?
No. But I'll tell you that apples and bananas and oranges are the 3 leading fruits.
Is this the United States?
Yes.
No wonder. You fuckers eat more fruit. Is sausage up there pretty high, or cheese? Is hot dogs up there?
Let's pause for a minute. We got bacon, which is not in the top 10, but it almost is. Bacon is a $4 billion industry in America, and it's growing every year. It grew 5% last year.
Yeah, there's bacon barons out there.
Here's some other stuff.
Pork bellies are up.
Here's some other stuff that almost made the list. Cigarettes.
Wait, why is that a food item?
Well, you're right. Not everything is strictly food. Cigarettes are $4.5 billion. Laundry detergent at $5 billion. Peanut butter at $2 billion.
Hell yeah.
Berries at $3 billion.
Wait, just berries?
That includes all kinds of berries. Some things on here are categories. You'll see.
Dingleberries?
Yeah, dingleberries. That's probably what they meant. I think I forgot. Oh, here's a fun fact about peanut butter. Americans eat 700 million pounds of peanut butter and 1 billion pounds of fruit spread every year.
Fruit spread.
Randomly. What do you think the world would be like if you took all the water in the ocean and replaced it with peanut butter?
What do I think the world would be like?
Do you think people would still enjoy going to the beach?
There would be some really fucking strong fish out there. I would not want to wrestle an octopus.
Can you fucking imagine an octopus that has evolved?
He could push his ass through peanut butter.
And it's not just peanut butter, because the peanut butter ain't fresh.
And then when you
It's
get
been
him,
sitting there for millions of years.
when you get him out on land, he just comes at you. He looks like someone threw a cush ball at you.
And guess what? Humans would have had to, because humans started in the water, right? Like billions of years ago.
Wait, like merman?
No, like the whatever we evolved from started in the water.
Yeah, fish.
Sure, and that thing came out of peanut butter now.
Oh, we would all be like Bo Jackson.
Think about peanut butter. Think about peanut butter replaces water in every aspect. Now you have, instead of water bottles, you got peanut butter bottles. Instead of washing your hands with water and soap, you use peanut butter and soap.
You're really tickling yourself with this, aren't you?
Instead of a shower of water, it's a shower of peanut butter. Imagine the peanut butter squeezing its way through the...
Are you trying to tell me that this isn't a fun thing? That this is bad?
Think about the consequences of washing your hair with peanut butter every day.
Well...
And then instead of, using water to clear your hands of dirt or food or whatever, now it's peanut butter. So now you just got peanut butter all over your hands all the time.
When I was 5 or 6 years old...
It'd be good for the masturbation business.
Wait, what?
Think about the peanut butter.
Use it to jerk off with?
Alright, you were saying?
Yeah. I almost drove us off the road on purpose. When I was 5 or 6 years old, I was at daycare, and I was playing in the sand, and I was chewing gum, and I spit my gum out into the sand, and then I played in the sand.
Sure.
So I had gum and sand stuck all over my hands. And I don't know why I was taken to the lunch ladies, to the ladies who work in the cafeteria at this big daycare. I don't know why they decided they were the go-to to help solve the problem.
Because they know about food, they know about gum.
And their idea was to use peanut butter to get it off.
Yeah, that's a pretty common thing.
Is that supposed to work?
I've heard that. I've never done it.
Well, it doesn't work. And then the second idea was to use ice, and none of it worked. It just it's all still stuck on there.
Well,
on my hands.
I'll add. Well, first of all, thanks for that really great story. I mean, that's going to be the snippet of the week for sure. I think that's a T-shirt too.
The point of that is you can't use fucking peanut butter to clean up.
Well,
anything.
in a world where peanut butter has replaced water, that's all we got. And I'll add a layer onto this. Imagine if it was crunchy peanut butter.
Does it rain peanut butter? Then I just want this conversation to be over. If it rains peanut butter, we're done.
I'm just imagining peanut butter, because would it be drops of peanut butter, or would it be globs of peanut butter? That's right. I really love this topic. We're going to have to explore this further at some point. I really, really want to dive into this.
It's infuriating because what is the boiling point of peanut butter? You cannot maintain an ecosystem on peanut butter.
Holy shit. Alright, let's move on from peanut butter. So, in the top 10, you got eggs at number 10, bread at number 3, milk at number 2. You got a long way to go.
Are there any potatoes?
Potato is the number 1 vegetable, but it is not in the top 10. There are no fruits and no vegetables in the top 10.
Americans, you make me fucking sick. I don't buy or eat any of that shit either, but you have to. Is there a meat in the top 10?
No, which surprised me.
It's all the rest of the top 10 processed? Is it processed stuff? Is it Oreos?
No, that's a good guess though. Let's do this. You did say cheese earlier, and we forgot to come back to that. Cheese is in the top 10.
Where's cheese?
Cheese is number 6. And I got all kinds of Nick's notes on cheese.
Cheese is so broad.
Yeah.
Tell me about cheese. I can't wait.
It's a $7.5 billion industry in America annually. The most popular cheeses in America by availability, whatever that means. Do you want to guess real quick?
Cheddar.
Cheddar's number 2. Number 1 is mozzarella, and number 3, cream cheese.
Wait, cream cheese is a cheese? I guess
Cheese is a category on this list.
Right, but cream cheese straddles the line between cream and cheese so well, I didn't realize it was cheese. I thought it was cream.
It's cream cheese. And Nick's choice for cheese? Pepper jack. Give me that pepper jack.
That's my choice too.
George likes it spicy. George likes his chicken spicy.
That's my choice too, but I don't have a misappropriated Seinfeld quote to go with it.
That's Seinfeld, people. I'll give you another hint here. Do you want a hint?
Bread.
You seem like you need a hint.
Cereal.
Cereal's number 8.
Cereal is also very broad because it includes things that are semi-healthy, like shredded wheat.
Sure.
Is oatmeal considered a cereal?
I don't know. But I mean, on this list, I don't know.
A hot cereal? Cereal, you just opened a big box. A big box of fun, because I love cereal.
What's your favorite cereal?
My favorite cereal is Waffle Crisp.
Whoa, baby, that's a throwback.
You can only get Waffle Crisp at Reese's.
Well, maybe in our area. Isn't there off-brand Waffle Crisp at, like, the regular store? Reese's is a local grocery chain for all of our international listeners.
I've never seen Waffle Crisp nor Waffle Crisp imitators anywhere other than Reese's.
Nick's favorite cereal is a tie between Frosted Flakes and
Marshmallow Dicks.
Captain Crunch. Reese's Puffs would be next, if you're wondering. Whoa! Brandon almost wrecked us.
No, not at all.
Henry Zabrowski almost didn't get to see me tonight.
I had to depress the brake momentarily.
Some other notes on cereal. $8 billion a year in the U.S., and the number one most popular cereal brand in the United States is?
General Mills.
Well, that's a company. I'm saying like one brand of cereal. Like a specific cereal.
Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios, to be exact.
Hell yes.
Over $656 million for that one product alone in the U.S. last year.
Everyone gets all hungry for him because that bee's always out there shaking his ass.
Hell of an ass on that bee.
He's dipping honey and teasing everybody.
Imagine if Cheerios replaced water.
I don't want to.
Let's do this for everything on here. We miss cheese, but if cheese had to push its way through the shower nozzle to go... well, it could be nacho cheese, and then it would be kind of flowy.
I'm too scientifically minded for that.
But, you know, if it started raining, everyone would just run outside with chips. They're tortilla chips. All right, we can move on. What else is in the top 10? One of these categories is very broad, like unfairly so, in my opinion. No meat.
Fish.
No fish.
Iced cream.
No.
Yeah, I need a hint.
Drink. Something you drink.
Soda. Soda pop.
Soda is number 1.
Soda is number 1?
Soda's number 1.
That is disgusting.
Soda is a $12 billion industry in the U.S. It's the second most likely item to be on sale in American grocery stores.
Yeah, isn't there an insane markup on it because it's just sugar, water, and brown?
And deliciousness. Soda has been the top of the list for years and years. The most popular soda brand in the United States is...
Coke.
Coca-Cola, which has a 17% market share. The Coca-Cola brand and logo is recognized by 94% of the world. Coca-Cola is the world's 8th most valuable brand in the world, according to Business Insider. And then number 2 is Diet Coke.
I gotta get something off my chest about Coke.
Let's hear it.
And that's, if they thought that I wasn't gonna notice the switch to high fructose corn syrup as opposed to sugar, they were dead wrong.
When did that happen?
I
just assumed it was high fructose.
I want to say it was like late 80s or early 90s. If someone here works for Coca-Cola or your grandfather was like Johann Coca-Cola, email us on the internet somehow and tell us...
tenishpod@gmail.com.
Tell us when that happened. I want to say it was late 80s, early 90s because I remember growing up and drinking... We're from Oklahoma, and in Oklahoma they call it pop, so I'm calling it pop, and that's what we call it. And I drink pop that tastes like the pop that has sugar in it. And I didn't drink pop all the time, and then I just remember being a somewhat older child and thinking, this tastes like syrupy shit now. I don't know how... I can't stand to, like, open a bottle of just straight, thick, syrupy Coke and start guzzling it.
What do you think of people in the country that call all forms of soda or pop, and they refer to all of them as Coke?
I think that's what they do in Texas, isn't it?
It drives me nuts.
I mean, I get the idea of calling something because everyone else you grew up around called it that. But to call everything Coke is extremely confusing, and God bless the waitresses and waiters in Texas for dealing with, like, what can I get you to drink? A Coke? What kind of Coke? A Coke Coke? A Dr. Pepper Coke? A root beer Coke? What kind of Coke do you want? Stupid.
Number 2 soda in America is Diet Coke, and the analysis I read on this, the person who wrote it, said that a lot of people think the popularity of Diet Coke really rose because of Bill Clinton. He would frequently be pictured with holding a Diet Coke.
I don't recall that at all. Maybe it happened. I don't associate him with Diet Coke at all. I know he was unhealthy in the early 90s.
Whoa.
Well, hot take. I think he would agree, too, that there were jokes. There's that Saturday Night Live skit where, or sketch, sorry, not skit, where Phil Hartman, as Bill Clinton, was jogging, but he was stopping at McDonald's and eating everybody's stuff.
Nick's favorite choice of soda? Barks root beer.
You son of a...
And you know what? It has to be Barks. Every other root beer is second place. My other choice is Dr. Pepper.
I think we're soulmates. Mine is also Barks root beer.
And you know,
Barks got bite.
Root beer is one of those sodas that's very divisive, I've learned. We just passed that Brahms Dairy Farm Brandon boringly mentioned like 10 minutes ago, and you surely forgot about. But he made sure to point it out to me here in the car. But I'll say that root beer is very divisive because I feel like half the people I meet love root beer and half the people I meet hate root beer. Would you agree with that?
Well, half the people out there are wrong and don't have good taste.
Something else about Dr. Pepper. I'm from California, and when I visit there a lot, and you can't ever find Dr. Pepper in any restaurants or anything.
You get Mr. Pibb?
Yeah, I think they have Pibb there.
And when we would visit Branson, Missouri, as a kid, I was always amazed that they didn't have Dr. Pepper and instead had Mr. Pibb, Dr. Pepper's less educated friend.
I like Pibb too.
Yeah, Pibb. Mr. Pibb, despite his lack of an advanced degree, still makes a fine soda.
Closing the book on soda.
Nick, I do want to point out right now that there's someone camping in the left lane, like not passing, and this person has no license plate at all. This person very likely committed a violent crime and is fleeing the scene. Slowly in the left lane.
If this was Timothy McVeigh, he would have been pulled over by now. You get it? Because we're going to Oklahoma City?
Well, yeah, and also he didn't have a license plate.
Right, that's why I said it. Let's keep going on the list here. What else is in the top 10? You want a hint?
Popsicles. Number 1 is soda. The rest of it could be... Is bubblegum on there?
All right, I'll give you a hint. There's something else drinkable on here. There's 2 other things drinkable on here.
Beer.
Yeah, beer's on here.
Beer
is number 4. Are you surprised that soda's more popular than beer?
No, because kids can legally drink soda.
So beer's number 4. It is an $8 billion industry annually, and this is referring to beer only sold in grocery stores. So it's not including
fancy beer.
The most popular beer in America. I know you're gonna love this list. What's number 1?
Budweiser.
Bud Light.
Oh yeah.
Blech. Bud Light has a 15% market share, which is more than double the second place beer, which is Coors Light. That's all I got on beer. Nick's choice for beer
is Pussin' Out.
Pussin' Out. Nick doesn't drink beer. What's Brandon's choice for beer?
I have a lot of choices.
Give me your number 1 choice off the top of your head.
Sunshine Wheat. It's by New Belgium Brewery.
All right. Well, I got nothing else on beer, so there's one more thing drinkable on here. You might say it's
motor oil.
You might say it's beer's cousin.
Wine?
Wine.
Okay.
Wine. Don't whine about wine.
Just tell me your notes.
Brandon's expression when I said that made it all worth it. Made this whole drive, which I've had to endure, worth it. Wine is number 9, which rhymes as well, so don't whine about that. And it is a $5.5 billion industry, and this is also including only wine sold in grocery stores, which was not even legal in the state of Oklahoma until recently. What's your wine of choice, Brandon?
I don't know a lot about wine. I know that I like red wines. I like a Merlot, I guess.
What a pretentious little asshole, am I right, people?
I like those Merlots. Yeah, wine is fine.
Wine is fine. You're missing 2. Number 7 and number 5. And they're both a little broad.
Is it anything that comes in a can?
No, but it is processed and packaged.
Twinkies.
I said broad, not what's in your pantry right now. When was the last time you ate a Twinkie?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's been a while, but they're good little sumbitches when you have them.
Did you suck all the frosting out first?
I just pretended the Twinkie was connected to Aaron Eckhart.
Let nature take its place. Let's see.
These are a little unfair because they're categories more so than
cleaning products.
No.
Toiletries.
All right, I'm gonna give you a hint on one of them. One of them you probably ate a lot of in college, and it's not ramen noodles.
Ass. Ate a lot of in college. Macaroni and cheese?
You're on the right track.
Macaroni and cheese with little bits of spicy chicken in it?
No, but just think like
chili.
Take a step back from mac and cheese. You're in the weeds.
Pasta.
No, not pasta.
TV dinner. Packaged dinner.
TV dinner. Frozen dinner is what it's called officially.
Frozen dinners.
Frozen dinner is number 7, above bacon, meat, every fruit, every vegetable.
Are they considering frozen vegetables?
No.
Frozen dinners. They were very specific to point out.
Frozen dinners.
Vegetables were on this list.
So frozen dinners, $6 billion a year in America, just on frozen dinners. Stouffer's is the top frozen dinner brand in America.
They do a good lasagna.
Number 2 is Marie Callender's. And other than the grocery segment, dairy and frozen foods is the top selling grocery segment. So that would include meat, produce, deli, grocery, dairy, and frozen. And Nick's choice for frozen meals, lean cuisine.
Whatever.
And frozen pizza, if we count that.
Do you really eat a lean cuisine?
Well, if I'm having to eat a frozen meal,
you're gonna eat the even less tasty. Like, it's frozen, but this is a healthy one. I'm gonna get lean. This frozen
I haven't scoured and I haven't explored every frozen option available. I don't get a lot of frozen dinners, but when I have gotten frozen dinners, lean cuisine is one of the few that I get.
I know that you're getting a Hungry Man. One of those Hungry Man ones that says like XL on it, or Hungry Man Extreme, and it has a picture of like a big lumberjack taking a shit on the back.
Can you imagine that was on the back? What if lumberjack shit replaced water?
It comes with like 2 Salisbury steaks covered with mushroom gravy and hardtack.
So you know how people get mad at fast food places for misrepresenting what their food looks like? Like in advertisements, the food always looks better than what you actually get. Frozen dinners is way worse about that.
They are comically worse. They're comically different than their pictures. I don't even know why they bother putting a picture on the box. It in no way represents what actually comes out of there. The only one that does come close is that Stouffer's lasagna. And the reason is that all the lasagna looks like before you start cutting into it is just a surface of melted cheese. It's really hard to fuck that up.
Well, that's frozen dinners, and you're missing one on here, and I'm really surprised you haven't guessed it.
Is it something you have ever seen me eat?
Of course. Hundreds of times.
It's not.
And it's not Dustin Hoffman's ass.
It's not hot dogs. Hundreds of times.
Thousands. Millions.
It's chips.
But it's actually broader. It's including all salty snacks. So
okay, fucking God.
No, but I have specific things on the chip aisle. So pretzels and Cheez-Its might count on that.
Popcorn?
It didn't say popcorn or not.
Is Cheez-It a salty snack or is it a cracker?
Yeah, Cheez-Its is actually not on here. Things on the chip aisle is how it was written.
Things on the chip. Did a friend of yours make this list?
No, homestead.com. And salty snacks, $8 billion a year in America, includes anything on the chip aisle. And the top most popular chips in America are
Lay's.
And number 2,
Ruffles.
Doritos.
Really?
Doritos.
The amount of things that seem like they properly go with Lay's potato chips seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Hot dogs, hamburgers,
Dip.
even maybe sandwiches.
Sure.
Lots of sandwiches.
The same could be said for Doritos. Doritos is a staple of like Super Bowl parties and butt parties.
But you don't dip.
Pirate parties.
But you don't dip a Dorito.
You can. First of all, you can. Secondly, Doritos, you don't need to dip because they're bursting with flavor on their own.
What have you ever dipped a Dorito in?
I'm sure I've dipped a Dorito in some French dip or what's that? French onion dip. Ruffle is my go-to dip chip, but
yes.
But Dorito, I would do it if it was there.
It just seems like you're playing a dangerous game, mixing all those
Risky business.
flavors in your mouth.
Well, I'll tell you that Nick's choice for chips is Cooler Ranch Doritos, followed by I love a good pretzel. And I know your fat ass has a lot of choices here and rummaging through your brain right now.
Cheddar and sour cream Ruffles.
Those are good, yeah. And you know my guilty pleasure, which I haven't had in years because I don't allow myself to anymore, but
Ass.
if the world was a place where you could just eat anything you want with no consequences, imagine that. Brandon's told me once, and I've never forgot it, that the best proof of a god is that things that are healthy don't taste as good as things that aren't healthy.
Right.
And that's very...
good, strong evidence.
Yeah. And so Flamin' Hot Cheetos would be my... I love Flamin' Hot Cheetos, but they're so fucking awful for you that... Not that Doritos are like, spinach, but Flamin' Hot Cheetos, there's something about it that I feel really guilty when I eat them, and I don't do it anymore. But I love them.
Because the more you eat, the more you can look at your hand and see the evidence that builds up of how much you've eaten. The redder and grittier your fingers are, the more you've been a disgusting pig.
Imagine if water was replaced with Flamin' Hot Cheeto dust. You people at home might be sick of me bringing that up, but Brandon's expression every time I bring it up is making it way worth it. Way worth it. All right, that's the top 10. Let's go through in order. You want to?
Yeah, wrap this up so I can stop thinking about water being anything but water.
Actually, real quick, before I go through the top 10, here's some things I thought would be on the top 10 that weren't. Mayo.
Why would mayonnaise be on the top 10?
It's a very common condiment.
Over ketchup and mustard?
Well, ketchup is my next one.
Okay.
Water bottles.
Well, just a bottle.
You're not surprised that water bottles are on the top 10?
I think that's bad for the environment.
Soup.
If you can say a whole aisle is salty snacks, then you could say another whole item was shit in a can.
Okay, but shit in a can wasn't on the top 10. That wasn't Einstein.
Well...
Was it Urkel?
Soup would fall under that.
Salty snacks was a category that was specific in chips. Brandon's shaking his head, but it's true. Watch the road, please. Number 10 was eggs. Number 9 was wine. Don't whine. Brandon at number 9. 8. What if water was replaced by wine?
If there was not a divider in that median, this would be over.
So 10 eggs, 9 wine, 8 cereal, 7 frozen dinners, 6 cheese.
Americans, you should be ashamed.
5 salty snacks, 4 beer, but I know every single one of these items is in
your...
Every one of these items is in your cart when you go shopping, so don't act holier than thou. 4 is beer, 3 is bread, 2 is milk, and 1 is our friend's soda/pop/Coke.
Barks Root Beer.
Barks Root Beer, number 1. So that's the top 10 grocery items in America, brought to you by Nick and hashtag Nick's Notes. Brandon, what did you think of that list? Did it make you hungry?
No, the milk and egg talk immediately put me off.
What if water is replaced by scrambled eggs? Imagine, because then the consistency in the scrambled eggs would be different depending on where you are in the world. Because the rain in Seattle could be different than the rain in Brazil. And
having a drought, dry eggs.
I know. Yeah, Brandon loves that.
The desert, it's powdered eggs.
What about sunny side up eggs as rain would be awful because it'd be all runny and yolky. Hey, are eggs just dead chicks?
No, they're unfertilized.
But so certain chickens lay certain eggs that aren't fertilized because to fertilize they got to be had sex with a rooster. Should we do our Seinfeld rooster reference?
That's perverse.
You got the chicken, the hen. What does he say? You got what's the line?
He says that you got the chicken, you got the rooster. Who's having sex with the hen?
That rooster has sex with all of them.
That's perverse.
Brandon, what did you think of recording side by side in the car?
It was titillating. I can't wait to do it again.
Brandon didn't realize this because he's been so focused on the list and on driving, but my hand's been on his upper thigh this whole time.
I thought it was my own thigh. My own hand.
Your own hand.
My own hand, my own thigh.
Well, I hope the car noise wasn't too bad for you fine folks at home. If it was, well, then you can get the hell over it, because we will be back in the studio next week with my couch cushions all propped up around me. We surround ourselves with cushions, make the audio sound better because we're professionals. So Henry Zabrowski, Ben Kissel, Marcus Parks, we know you're listening as you prepare for your live show in Oklahoma City. Hope we got you in the mood to perform, and don't get nervous when you look across the room and see us staring and laughing occasionally. But we have pretty high standards here on the Tennis Podcast.
Are those idiots that were talking about what if all the water was peanut butter?
Peanut butter is still the best out of all the ones we talked about because just the consequences of peanut butter and everything. You're washing your car and you got the hose pointed at the car and it's just peanut butter slowly easing its way out.
Can I just tell you what the end of this is? The whole world would be peanut butter. Everything would be destroyed, messed up, fucked up with peanut butter.
Think about the sewer drains.
When you talk about too much of a good thing, I used to love peanut butter, and thinking about it like this, just permeating every aspect of our lives.
It's a nightmare, really. I think this peanut butter topic has been my favorite side thing we've ever talked about, and I'm going to bring it up again and again, so get ready for that.
Great.
Okay. This has been the Tennis Podcast. I'm your host, Nick. That's my sidekick host, Brandon, driving me like a limo driver to my event tonight. And if you haven't already, be sure to rate us 5 stars and review us on every single fucking podcast platform you can think of. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for lots of peanut butter talk this week. I'm going to be going ham on peanut butter topics on our social media this week. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Go fuck yourself? That's 3.
Suck it.
Oh, yeah, suck it too.
See you next week.
Bye-bye. God's thumbnail.
We'd like to thank Kevin McLeod for his song Hackbeat, which we found on Incompetech.com for the official Tennis Podcast theme.